One of the most frustrating things in Siege is not improving, right? So in this video, I'm going to teach you guys 3 things that is preventing you guys from improving. So by the time Siege comes out, you can apply these 3 things and I guarantee you're going to be double the rank of what you originally are right now. We'll first start out with the number 1 thing is just poor strategy. No matter what rank you are, strategy is your entire gameplay, whether you're attack or defense, right? You can't avoid it. Now, starting with defense, a lot of you guys have very poor strategy of not bringing the right operators, like traps, your site setup as well. I want you to ask yourself right now, what operators am I bringing to the team on a certain map, right? Think about some maps that you are good at, some maps you're bad at, and compare your operator choices. Like, are you playing generally the same five operators? The reason I say 5 is because I don't want you limiting yourself to one operator to main, right? This isn't year 1. You shouldn't be maining one person. But instead, because especially with Siege X coming out, there's going to be operator bans. So you need to be flexible in the operator choices you have. I think the trap operators are like some of the strongest people you can pick. Dude, someone's walking the metal. This is not good. Oh, okay, I got shot from many different places. Alright, that's fine. Every single time I put the same Capcan traps down. All of these Capcan traps that I put down, I've been through like trial and error. I've put down on almost every single barricade on this map, but these ones tend to get hit the most. They're not a guarantee, but they're a high percentage. And in Siege, you just need to be like an 80%. 80% like playing in the right. You know, counter a lot more players. I think a really good term I ever heard was prepare for the worst, but expect the best, I believe is what it was. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, I think is a very good quote I've heard. I hear yings going off. They hit in sight. This Katy Perry guy's like pre-firing me really weird, bro. Not that guy.
We are protected. One op 4 remaining.
Bro, no, that Katy Perry guy's fucking sus, bro. What? Yeah, that guy's like fucking... What level is he, bro? How do I feel about Siege X? I love it, man. I'm not to be the generic R6 creator, but I think this is genuinely one of the best updates for Siege. I think the best updates for Siege was probably Deadly Omen. When Deimos came out, Jinxie had like peak popularity on the game. But like Siege X, sound renovation, better graphics, Clash rework is pretty like... is gonna be able to keep people not bored. Pro League's in a good spot. I think CJ is gonna be good though. All right, let's talk about, again, you know, a poor setup. So a poor setup on basement would be like, you know, no solid like wall denial or plant denial or anything to kind of keep them at bay. So we have a Goyle, which is good. Doc ACOG's good. Scopus for the roam. Mute. Pretty solid. I think the only thing we're missing here would be like some better plant denial. We can just go mirror again. I would even argue for Jaeger, and Jaeger actually has a buff where he can catch Capital bullets, but I mean, Capital's not really played that much, so it's not the biggest meta changing. But yeah, bringing operators that give you more consistency is very important. If you don't know what operators to bring, learn what operators that are like A or S tier. Look up a tier list, look at my tier list when I release it soon. But operators that have like gadgets that work on every site. Mira is strong, Mute is strong, Goyle is strong, right? You can put it anywhere on all the power points at the bomb site. I think it is very hard as a player to, you know, learn the correct site setups, you know, highest winning stuff. I obviously know this because I've been playing this game for a long time and I play at a very high level. So do your best to kind of like pick these up. You know, maybe like every week, try out like 2 new strats, and then kind of like if it works really well, if it fits with the play style, then replicate that. What's it saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. One thing you can kind of like even think about it is, if I could only pick one operator to fight an entire team, who would I choose, you know? I choose, you know, Mira. I choose Mai. I choose Goyo. We're not gonna overpeak here because we need to keep the C4 alive for the strat. 3v2. Alright, so we have C4 though, so we're good here. What's this guy doing? It's okay, we'll cover him.
Op 4, last stop standing.
Alright, good. But yeah, you see this mirror is just like such a strong wind condition. I just have to sit behind here. Still have a C4 in my hand. And yeah, just stop dying early too, guys. No reason to die when you have so many advantages.
Op 4 eliminated.
And it really is not a game about kills. If you're worried about kills, go play Call of Duty. But you see, this is a game where you can get kills and still win rounds without any. But that's obviously not an excuse for a low KD though. So let's get rid of. We have to go open area. So yeah, I'm down for a Damus ban. Again, a poor defense for open area. Listen, just because it's, you know, we're up 2-0 does not mean, you know, you can just throw the round and just go hide in the corner, right? Learn what is still like the default plan. If you don't know, then look it up somewhere. But if you can revolve your playstyle around that, you're chilling. So I could not know how to set up the bomb site, but if I think about it, okay, where was a common spot to plant the bomb? It would probably be, you know, the enemy would probably try to take like here, kitchen, right? Plant behind the kitchen. Maybe they'll try to drop the hatch, but for the most part, it's easiest to attack kitchen just because it's just such a, you know, square it's easy to take. So I'm gonna pick an operator that can focus my utility on that one tower spot. And if you can do this for every single bomb site, think about, okay, what's the enemy's objective on this bomb site? Oh, it's to take this room, that room. All right, I'm gonna bring this operator to do that. And as you play, you'll find all different ways to accomplish that. Oh my god, what the fuck? Dude, why are they just doing this? So you see how my setup is just mainly meant for anywhere they're coming in from, and now we just... I was trying to shoot a hole and accidentally put my crosshair on the enemy. That looks sus. Didn't mean to do that. But hey, if you want aura points, you just act like you meant to do that. So to like wrap it up for, you know, to fix a poor defense strategy is first, your site setups. If you cannot tell me the exact site setup of what you're doing for a certain bomb site, it's probably poor. If you can't tell me what operator you're gonna do, where you're gonna roam, you know, how are you gonna play the early game, the late game, right? How do you get out of copper? Watch my videos, man. Pay attention to this stream. This stream, I'm really giving you the sauce. So, man, yeah, to wrap it up for poor strategy, focus on consistent operator picks. How does that operator help on the bomb site? Stop throwing man advantages. If you have man advantage, just chill the F out, bro. Close out easy rounds. And then last off is your site setup. Focus on your site setup. If you have a site setup designed for success and an operator choice with a very high win rate, it's very hard to, you know, have a surprise round where you just lose. All right, now we're on attack. So how do you fix a poor attack? What's poor strategy on attack? Poor strategy on my attack, in my opinion, is... Oh, let me put my operator quick. Go 0. Poor strategy, in my opinion, is first your pre-placed camera. Actually, before even that, it's your first operator choice. You know, you should be thinking, okay, what bombs are they gonna go to, and narrow it down to a couple operators you might think it might be. This way, your brain is like already actively thinking. And in this 30 seconds of the prep phase, stop scrolling TikTok, stop fucking just opening up Snapchat to your fucking dry ass phone. No one texting you, bro. Focus on the game. And then finalizing your attack strat. Pre-place your drone where you want to go and spawn there. Actually spawn there. Don't just like load in the game not knowing where you spawned in from, and then you just gotta wing it. How do you expect to have a good attack by doing that? So I'm just gonna put these down, and people don't normally know this, but I'm gonna just... Didn't see anyone. I did that, so I break the barricade, but I don't break the glass, and they won't be able to hear me. Again, always drone before you go in. Unless you got a pre-placed drone, it's siege. Especially if you're in low ranks, people will just run at you, bro, without you expecting it.
Perfect shot. Argus deployed.
So Finka's already up. However, I don't want to skip any steps yet. I'm just gonna make sure if anyone's flanking right now. I saw someone walk in this long desk area, so job. So you even saw, like, even though my finger did have a lot of map control, that did give me a sign to like push up with my strat. But I have no idea where the attackers can be or the defenders are going to be. That's why I still get all my cameras down. I still check. There's no reason for me to rush and throw an advantage. Don't be afraid to delay your push by like 30 seconds, even 20 seconds to get the same result. I'm sure a lot of you guys would rather wait 20 seconds to get a win than lose in 10 seconds because you got a little anxious. All right, the second thing I do want to talk about now is mindset. So mindset is literally, this is probably, if anything, more important than anything else. Like, this should come first. Like, if your siege skill was a fucking Christmas tree, this is the fucking golden star up top. If you have a poor mindset, everything else is going to be awful. You guys should know this already, even in real life. This is like your confidence too. A lot of players in siege do not have confidence because of how harsh this game is. If you know to have good confidence, even in tough situations, you're gonna surprise yourself a lot more than often. To have a good mindset in siege, you obviously need to be, be in control of your emotions. Don't be so easy to rage or like say slurs at each other. I mean, a lot of people watching this video are probably, I mean, chat, how old are you guys? Put your age in the chat of how old you are watching
10
this.
seconds before
But a lot of people watching this might be kids, might be adults. Some maturity might be a big thing. Even in real life, learning how to control your emotions is one of the best skills you can learn. I think I learned how to control my emotions strictly because of siege, and I would actually owe it to siege that I now have a better mindset of how I even look on life now. Because siege is just so chaotic, you have to be like focused, and if you succumb to your emotions and how stressful siege can be sometimes, then fuck your raps, bro. How do you expect to be confident and a consistent player if you can't even control that?
you must recover.
Adrenaline surge incoming.
Cam deployed.
I don't know what's going on, bro. Everyone's just dying. Can you open the wall? Do you have a heart reaching gadget?
Argus deployed.
I don't know if he does or not.
Drop the diffuser.
Surge incoming!
Yeah, I have no drones. I might just have to go out to like the balcony or something. Yeah, I'll heal R0, why not? But this is a poor attack because we just didn't bring the right. Okay, yeah, we don't have a heart breacher for the wall, and we have just no intel. We have no idea where they're at. Okay, it's not breaking.
Fuck, how do you even know it's a 10 server?
The diffuser is no longer in your possession. One friendly operator remaining.
That's fine. That was
Diffuser has been secured. We have been
all good. So like an example of this, right? Yes, that round's frustrating. There's nothing I could have done about that. You should only focus on what you can control. I can control how I react at this game about 90%. The other 10% is out of my control. My teammates, what the enemy is doing, all that kind of stuff, right? Why are we banning Frost? Why? Whatever. I'm not gonna think about that. But you gotta have like a GG go next mentality. That will save your confidence a lot by just not giving up so soon. If you give up so soon, how do you expect to win 4-4 overtime match point games? How do you expect to carry your team? How do you expect to go positive every game if you're just crumbling after the first death you get? So they're gonna go basement. I'm gonna go Maverick. Remember, we talked about having good attack strategy, stone face mentality. Yeah, to an extent. You don't gotta be like weird about it though. What is it? Iron Mind is a thing I talked about a long time ago. No matter what comes your way, it just reflects off and you just keep doing your own thing. And I think one of the, again, to wrap it up for our confidence, like the only way to build your confidence is by just trying new things. A lot of the times you're not confident because you don't know what's on the other side. You're anxious. What if I push this room? What if I peek this corner? What if I, play it safe? You'll never really know what happens until you actually do it. And the best way to fuck around and find out is by just pushing the enemy, man. Take more gunfights. What's my team up to right now?
Drone up.
There's no way I can go for default plan. Main stairs is clear. One's connector.
I've got my eye on you. Cam ready.
Swapping mags!
Op last stop standing. You must recover the diffuser.
My bad, man. I'm sorry.
The diffuser has been recovered.
You know what? It's all good. See, things like that, instead of slamming my desk, calling him the N-word, I can just be like, you know what? It's all good. We're in a 2v1. I'm looking at the positives, and we're gonna win. He's blue. Getting on cam, still giving good teammates, bro. Like, no room for bad energy, bro. He's in blue, No calling him one. But like, if you think about it, this is exactly what pro players do. I mean, when I used to play in Challenger League, there's just no room for...
Yo, Bonkai, my bad, man. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, bro. We won the round. But shit, man, it cost $0 to...
Why are we being so nice?
See, this guy's not used... He's not used to it. You know why? Because not enough people will watch my videos. But it costs $0 to be nice and a good teammate. But it costs you a fucking headache to just... be negative. But a lot of the times people like, well, a lot of people in this game is spam negativity. They say loud things, they say slurs. They're just degenerate as fuck because it's just projecting over what they are inside. My content is not only just to make you better at Siege, but just make you a better person, bro. Like, what happened to being a good teammate and a good sportsmanship in Siege, in any game, in anything? What happened to that? Probably because people are building their personalities off of fucking TikTok or some shit. But listen, Siege is a beautiful game when you're good at it, not when you're constantly, you know, crawling through your skin, wanting to like die. So once you guys have like a good mental fortitude, you've got to be open to learning. One last thing is you guys got to be open to learning. Watch good players. What's the saying? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you get two new brand new players, right, and they are both awful at Siege, but one of them watches Pro League, and while the other one only plays like ranked and learns as he goes, who's gonna get better? Probably the guy watching Pro League, because he knows what to do, or at least he has a better understanding of what to avoid.
I'm reloading.
But another thing is lowering your ego. Unless you're like T1, T2 level, or at least champion in this game. But lower your ego. Y'all like are too high-headed to like learn from your mistakes, or even just admitting when you're wrong. I don't know why it's so hard just to admit when you're wrong. At times, but trust me, like lowering your ego and like just like becoming a student, just learn the game. You're gonna learn so much more and ultimately craft a different play style than what you currently have. Like, what makes you think the current mindset you have right now that is a hard stuck silver is somehow gonna reach platinum overnight? It's not gonna happen, bro. So if you're open to learning, even if you don't like a certain player sometimes, but if he does something that works really well in Siege, then learn from it. Like, for example, back when I used to play competitive, yeah, there were a lot of like run and gun players that would just have a very annoying playstyle, right? Or even when we would scrim Mexican Pro League teams back in the day, they just play like it's ranked, bro. They hop out, they don't care, they just get their trades and they say fuck your strat. But back in the day, I was pretty like hard-headed. I was like, you know what? My gun skill is not the best right now. Why don't I learn a little bit how they play? And I ended up actually having some of the best aim and gun skill I've ever had in Siege. Only because I was open to learning how to play like a brain-dead monkey. And it ended up working for me. But the last thing I want to talk about is learn from the best. This is kind of connecting from our last point, but really, it's like this is the blueprint for you getting better at Siege. You could watch so many different YouTubers, so many different people in high ranks, watch tournaments, watch the Jinxie tournaments where they play. As much as you guys want to be like, oh, Jinxie's not good, this and that, bro, Jinxie is better than like most of you guys in this game. Probably about like 97% of you guys. The 3% would be like the very top champs, but y'all are so quick to criticize before you actually like learn by yourself. One thing that I did a lot when I was trying to improve is whatever map I was trying to play or get better at, I would just kind of like look at how they play it in Pro League. Now, I would be careful because a lot of strats in Pro League are meant to be against to counter other pro teams, not in ranked. If anything, it might be too complicated to use in ranked. But like, look at how they hold angles. Look at how they pre-fire. Look at their movement, their mechanics. One mechanic that I've taken away from Pro League is when they see an enemy, they just shoot and they crouch and they get off the angle. You might see it sometimes, but you know, if you learn little bits here and there, like little habits that improve you by like 1%, learn 5 things from Pro League, you're better by 5% now. You guys can also look if you want to know like what operators are meta, how to use a certain operator correctly or even better. Even if it's not just only Pro League, but like just literally learn from anyone better than you. Whether it's in your rank stack, you're watching Jinxie, watching me, you know, Uzi Spoit. Look at how they do some things that works out and then kind of replicate it. If we had 2 basketball players, one of them was trained by their local high school coach, but the other one was trained by LeBron James, you know? Who's ultimately going to get better? Probably the one getting trained by LeBron because, you know, he knows literally more ball knowledge. But yeah, that's basically it. To summarize it up, is just learn from people who are better than you. In Siege X, there's going to be a lot of changes with environmental stuff, maybe even with other operator mechanics, but take that away. Again, lower your ego a little bit, man. And if you apply all the things that we talked in this video, there's literally no way you aren't going to be like double your rank next season. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new.